Hello guys, welcome back, and we're starting a new series on data structures. Data structures are very important building blocks of programming. They help us organize, store, retrieve, and process data. I will have videos in both Java and Python, and today we'll be starting off with arrays, and we're going to do this in Java. So what are arrays? Well, arrays are the most basic way of storing data. All the elements are stored in a contiguous block of memory. Let's do a quick example. Let's say we want to compute the average of three numbers. So we're going to need to store these three numbers in a variable. So let's say we have 1, we have 2, and we have our third number, let's just say 3. Now, let's just compute the average of this. We're going to just add all of them up and divide by the number of elements, which is 3. And let's just print out the results. We should get 2. All right, 2. Now, what if we have, let's say, 100 numbers that we want to read in? Now, we're not going to create 100 different variables. What's one of the best way to do that, or the most efficient way? Well, we can use arrays. So we can use array to store all those numbers into a single variable. So for example, the way we do it in Java is, let's say we have int. So we use brackets to define an array. And let's just say, my number. We'll call it my num. And we can start initializing it with values. So we can say 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just go up to 10. So here we declared an array that is of type int, and we're storing these elements. Now we can just sum up the array. So one of the ways you could do it is there's this arrays package and the Java util package. Actually, since my class is named arrays as well, let me just rename this to my array. Okay, so there's arrays in the Java util package, and there's something called stream, and we can sum up all of this. And let's just store that in a variable. And now we can get the average. So to get the average, we can just do the same thing. Sum divided by the length of the array. So to do that, we just do my num and dot length. So this will return us a number of elements that's inside this array my num. And let's just print that out. Okay, so that's our average for this array. Now, what if we want to, let's say, sum up decimals? Let's say we have 1.5, 2.7. We can see we're getting this error. It's saying required type is int and we're providing a double. So remember, array can only store one type of data. That's it. It cannot store multiple types of data. For example, we can't have ints, decimals, or string inside this single array. If we have an int type array, we can only store ints. Now, if you want to do doubles or decimals, we have to convert this to a double. Now we're not getting this error anymore. And same thing, we can just store a double here. And if I run this, we should be able to get the average, 5.62. Now, we don't always have to initialize the array with the elements like we did here. We can always initialize it later, but we have to allocate a size to an array. So let's do another example, and we'll make it somewhat real and fun this time. So let's say we're designing a game, and in that game, let's say we have a loadout where we can only carry 4 weapons. So let's represent that. So let's first initialize an array. We'll create a string array this time, and let's say this is our loadout. And to initialize an array, we just do a new string. And over here inside the bracket, we have to allocate size to it. So since we can only carry 4 weapons, we have to say 4. So what this tells us is that, listen, in our string array, we can only have up to max of 4 elements. That's it. We cannot have more than 4. So let's set this variable, our array. So to do that, we say, in our first loadout, so remember, arrays are index base 0. So the element that's shown over here, this is starting at index 0. This is at index 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's going to go all the way up to 9, from 0 to 9. So here we have 10 elements starting from 0 up to index number 9. So over here, we're going to say our loadout 0 is let's say it's going to be an assault rifle. Our loadout, our second loadout, we can say it's going to be some sort of side weapon. So you can say we can just have a pistol. And then our third loadout, we can say is, let's say some sort of special weapon. And then our last loadout, let's say we can say is a melee weapon or a knife, let's just say. So let's just print out all the elements inside this array. So there's a few ways you can do it. Let's just do one of the ways. So we're going to use a for loop. We're going to start off from index 0, and we're going to go up to the length of the array. So length of the array is 4. So here we're using less than because it's going to go up to where 3 is less than 4. Remember, we can only have max of 4 elements. So since it's index 0 base, so it's going to go up to 0 to 3. So here we're going to do I++, and then we can just print it out. Now to access the elements inside the array, we use bracket, and then we're just going to put an I. So it's going to replace all of them. So it's going to go 0, 1, 2, 3. So let's run this. Okay, so we got an error. Index is out of bound, which makes sense actually because of this. Because it's 0, 1, 2, 3, it's going to go up to 3. So it's not going to go up to 4. So this should be 3, and this is 4. Why? Because we only allocated max of 4 elements. This is 2 and 3. So if I run this, I should get all the elements this time. All right, so we got all 4 of them. Another way we could do it is using for each loop as well. So we can do something like this. And if I do copy that, I should be able to get the elements as well. All right, there you go. So let me show you guys this in Paint just to make it easier to understand. So here I have my array. So this is a string array. Okay. This is my string array. And here we initialize size 4. So we initialize 4 blocks to the memory. So array is a contiguous block of memory we allocate. So here we have in our index 0, we had assault rifle. So here we had an AR. And then in our second place, we had pistol. We had pistol here. And then we had some special weapon. And then we had a knife. Okay. So this is, let me make this thicker. So this is index base 0. This is 1. And this is 2. And this is 3. So it starts from 0 up to 3. Now, when we try to access element number 4, let's say before we try to access loadout number 4, we try to place in it. This is not allocated. So which is why it threw index out of bound, because there's no memory allocated to this space. So it threw index out of bound exception. Now, what if we want to, let's say, replace this pistol with another weapon? Okay, so we can do that as well. So let's just say we want to say loadout number 1, which is a pistol. We want to replace it with, I don't know, another assault rifle. Let's say with a sniper rifle. So we'll just say a sniper rifle. Now, if I try to print this out from here, I should get sniper rifle. There you go. So we replace the pistol with sniper rifle. So we can even replace elements inside an array as well. So this is pretty much it to arrays. It's one of the most basic data structure across all programming languages. And to recap, arrays are a static data structure where we store a fixed amount of data. We have to allocate a fixed memory or size to it, and once that array is created, its size is fixed. There's another data structure when we have dynamically growing data, and that is lists, and I'll go over that in the next video. Another important point to note is computers always start with index 0. So if you want to access the first element inside an array, it will be stored at index 0. When we did the loadout example, we allocated 4 blocks of memory to it, and the first element was stored at index 0, and the last element was stored at index 3. When we tried storing an element at index 4, we saw we got an index out of bound exception because that block of memory wasn't allocated. Hopefully this video helped you all get a better understanding of arrays, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.